But the question is, are you living or you're surviving?
Right now, I'm barely surviving. Welcome to the Speak Out Pod. And on this episode, we are doing a series titled Between Life and Purpose, where we are about to, talk about life, generally life and in betweens. We're about to speak about adulthood, growing up, the challenges we encounter, and have a fruitful conversation out here. So stay tuned. Yaba na yaba, full contents back to back to back. You're back to filming. No of this. So guys, today we have a very special guest. Yes. So let's the way he's special no, the intro no, it has to be a DAB, what I say. So he's a man of God, first of all, a keyboardist, or book keyboarder. You can enter the spirits, Charlie. Yeah, Kwabena Keys. That's the stage name, Kwabena Keys. He's also, he's an air conditioning specialist. Yes. Oh no, yeah, Oma AC Juma now 10 over 10. Sure, this man blessed though. You know, he's also an accountant. I've gotten that right. Yes, he's an accounting personnel. He works at. He has not told me there, but no son. Just Pong, just Pong. He's a big man, oh. So this man we have on today, there, business minded too. He's married. He has 2 kids. Really beautiful, beautiful children. So on today's episode, we have the one and only Mr. Michael Owusu Asare. Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
This is what
yeah.
this is what
So
we're clapping.
yeah. Yeah. So today, conversation is basically about life. We're about to discuss the transition between, I don't know how to say adolescence, but like adolescence to adulthood, where we encounter a lot of challenges that people really don't speak about. So today the title is Are you living? Are you living or are you surviving? That's basically what we're about to talk about.
Wow, that's a nice topic.
And I think it's a really taboo, it's very
Sure,
relatable.
it is.
So for a start, you just say something small about the topic before you start.
Hmm.
What do you think about this whole adulthood and where we are headed towards?
I think the topic is what we are dealing with
Yeah.
in this life right now. The reason why some people are doing something small and they are known everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
but then some people are doing everything possible, but they are not known. It's between living and surviving. Now, well, what I think, I don't know if you give me the chance, if I can say it now.
Yeah.
Living and surviving, living and surviving. It should tell you that if you are living, it comes with a whole passion, it comes with purpose, it comes with what you are doing that makes you happy. But surviving is what you do so that you will be there, so that you can maintain.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's a broad topic, and I believe God will take us through this topic.
Yeah. Okay, so for a start, you've already given your definitions, though, but like, what does survival mean? Let's start from survival, then we head towards living.
Survival is what I think some group of people call hustling. I'm hustling to pay the bills. That is survival. You know, so basically, survival is doing a routine thing, something that your heart is not there,
Mhm.
but you have to do it so that something can keep running. So our 8 to 5 job or 9 to 5 job is surviving. I don't know. I've said it.
It's survival, Charlie.
The survival. I
A
mean,
breakthrough.
yes, it's surviving from the start because I believe you can attest to the fact that
I can.
you wake up 5 a.m. bath, then you get to work, then you come back. You don't even get to home by 5. I mean, I get to home by 7:30 or something. So sometimes that's not what I'm living for.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a phase. You will go through
Sure,
it, but
sure.
the routine is the problem. Like, wake up at 5 every day, actually. All right. So now, now we are surviving basically. So, what are the steps to transition from survival mode
To the living mode.
living? Yes.
Wow, that's a big question. You know, survival is the doing every day, the routine thing. So before I bring the two together, let me explain the living. You know, living is more like you have a purpose. You have a purpose, like you are doing something that makes you very happy. Some people are doing sound and they are very happy with it.
Mhm.
People are doing music and they are very happy with it. So for now, you don't see that they are getting the money or they are getting what you go. You know, the problem with living and surviving is people think it's it's about getting the money. So far as you are getting the money means you are living.
They are living,
No, no,
yeah.
no, 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 no. People who are doing cocaine, then what would that be?
They are overliving.
Yes, people who are doing cocaine are not. They are even surviving. I can say that.
Yeah.
Because you do one cocaine trip and then you get a big money. Doesn't mean you see the pressure you have to go through and all that. You see, but living gives you the freedom. It gives you the freedom to do what you want to do at what time you want. You wake up, you know what time to get to something, and then surviving is you have been structured
Yeah.
by somebody or by something. Yes. So between living and surviving, this is where I want you to mention that question again. Then I can delve into that.
Okay, so how do we transition from survival mode to living?
Okay. So I'll give you this small practices or exercises to do. You know, transition from surviving to living.
To living, yes.
And let's get it right. Survival is not a bad thing.
No.
It is an interim something. And so we use, like the account will say, yet stones will film, yet papa. So survival mode, the routine. And then you use that to get to the living mode. Living is you identify what you want, identify what you really want. Now, if you want to do this, if you want to do that, that is how it is. Now, you know, I want to do music, but now I have rent to pay, I have bills to pay, I have something to do. I have my mother to take care of. I have this bill, that bill, that bill. So probably right now, you cannot say you are going cashless until you get to your living mode. And you know, anytime you say you want to live, it takes time because you are going to build. It's like a Lego. You build one at a time, one at a time. So living is not easy, but you use the survival mode to get to living. So how do we transition from survival to living? You identify what makes you happy, and then you would, with time, find a way to finance your living. So a clear example is, I want to start a studio, but I don't have anybody to produce to start with. Or I'm doing the air conditioning business. I don't have clients yet. So I'm doing 9 to 5. That one, I get it. And then I know that, okay, now the bills are sorted. Then when I come, I take extra time to focus on what I really want to do. And that will take me to that living mode, yeah.
So, how does our location, right now we are all living in Ghana, so let's try and bring it down to we as Ghanaians. I don't want to talk so much about the economy we are in right now, but then how do we as Ghanaians, how do we make that transition? Like, what is that key that you think we can do to live instead of us always survive? Because you can wake up in the morning, everyone is rushing for transport, going to work, coming back late. I mean, imagine you live in Tema and you work in Accra. You have to wake up early. It's a lot of stress. And yes, and you have to do that for a long time, basically, before you can become financially settled. Because even the salaries, the basic wage in Ghana the last time was like $17, $18. It's very bad.
Yeah.
So how do you think you can transition from as Ghanaians?
Okay, so to answer your question, in Ghana, it's a tough economy. We are all going through one thing or the other, and it's not easy. Now, I'll just give you a way that I went about with my life. I'll show you how I went about with my life. That took me from, but the question is, are you living or surviving? Yes. So I'll give you a simple something that I did. Now I feel that I'm getting close to my living because I have found what I want to do, and I know I'm getting there, and I know I'll do it. And once,
Let me cut you over here. How did you discover what makes you happy, like what you want to do, where you can focus on to actually make a living out of? Because it's easier to make money out of your talent rather than other things. So how do you
figure it
How
out.
did you find?
You
How did
know,
you figure it out?
the, if there's a demand on what you do freely, effortlessly, you should know that that is your living mode. Yeah. Mr. Beast is somebody who is doing something crazy out there right now.
Yeah,
He's very wealthy, and I don't think he's a 9 to 5 person. Yeah, 9 to 5. When we say 9 to 5, let me explain that one to a little. People think 9 to 5 is it's what makes the difference, or that's the problem. Some people who are living wake up actually from 4 a.m.
yeah,
So then I also chip in this that living doesn't mean you have freedom. Living doesn't really mean that you are free from. It's just you being with yourself. It doesn't mean that you have freedom of time. Yes, it's just using your time at when you want it to do what you want. That is the living. You understand? So yes. So that's it. Mr. Beast is doing what he wants to do. He wakes up one morning and he says, "I want to throw a challenge on this and this and this," and he's still making money out of it. Yes. So how I identified my living, or how do you identify something that you do effortlessly, something that gives you fulfillment?
yeah.
You are fulfilled in your spirit. You are very fulfilled in your spirit. That anytime you do this, and I can say that for you, this Speak Out pod came out of you, but it's not really something you went to study in school or something. No. This is something that came out of a joy that burst out of you. So anytime you do it and you do the video out there, you put it out there, you are blessing a lot of lives. That is the whole thing. And so yeah. So basically that's what it is. So anything that's how you do it. Anything you do that makes you happy, that is what we are talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I think um, this is personally my challenge, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
challenges. We need to identify what we are good at, because that's what can help us get
Perfectly.
out of a lot of these struggles.
Before we even continue, I have a friend. She is very knowledgeable. I don't think she would like me to mention her name on this. Very knowledgeable. Currently, she's doing a professional course. She did MPhil. But if I tell you that this lady loves cooking, would you believe it?
This would be a hobby.
Perfect. That's what you think. It's a hobby. And that is where you make your living out of it. You see, just like I said, make a living. Nobody said make a salary. You understand the point? So the whole purpose, the whole point we are here is to make a living. You understand? So my friend, like I'll say, just to chip in shortly, MPhil holder, doing a professional course in HR. She's doing a lot when it comes to academia. Very smart lady. She knows what her stuff is and all that. And she can cook very well. Like the two of them, like as she knows the academia, is as she knows her cooking. So between these two,
It's living. Yes. Can you be happy in survival mode?
never.
Oh.
Never.
So, then how do you find joy going about your daily activities like this?
Well, you are not here to find all joy. Like I said, the Akana adage, you step in mad waters. I didn't explain it, but let me explain it. Means you step in mud water to get into a good water, because it was developed when our forefathers or old people used to go to the stream. The stream at its banks is very dirty, but the proper water is in there. So you step in the mud and then you get to that point where you can get the good water. So survival mode is the mud. It is the one that you step, but you see, it leads you to your good waters. So survival mode is never a happy moment. It's a climbing moment, and I don't think you climbing something is easy. Yeah.
Okay. Um. This question here.
Bring it on.
Well, me, I can't.
Bring it on.
How do you tell when you are living?
When you're living and when you're serving.
If I'm surviving right now, how do I know I'm just surviving?
No joy. It's a routine. You know within your heart that you don't want to do what you are doing. Yeah.
Do you think people are happy with this routine? Maybe they've gotten used to it.
That's another point. You get used to it. Used to means it wasn't that.
Yeah.
That is it. Let me give you two examples. Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, they are used to playing football, but apparently that is what they love to do. So getting used to something, it's in twofold. You are used to it because I have to. But the other part is that you are used to it because you love doing it. And so it just comes. When Messi takes the ball right now, you know what we are talking about. And when Cristiano takes the ball, you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's quite unfortunate that some other teams are not doing well, but yeah, we will not go there.
Yeah. Okay, so is survival mode always bad? I don't know if you've answered that.
I've answered it already. I said it's not always
bad.
bad. It's a stepping stone.
And you've also given us your personal story about how you are transitioning.
Yeah, and even let me delve into the personal story. So I finished school. I finished the university. All I know is that once you are done with university, you just prepare your CV, and there's a company who is going to embrace you and say, Mike, here you are. Whenever here you are. I didn't know that you have to send a lot. You have to send it to a lot of places. That's even one. Oh. The second thing is that even if they call you, you are going through interviews. Guess what? There are protocols online already. Who do you know? That's even another problem. So that is the survival mode in Ghana right now. The system is so choked that it's about who you know. The education system is choked. It's about who you know. So a lot of people are graduating, but few are going to get jobs. So many have graduated, but few will get jobs. So if you find yourself in that mood, what do you do? So now this is what I did. You find something that you love doing. As I'm sitting, I really love to drive. I really love to drive. Yes, I can drive the whole day with no pain. The only thing I'll feel tired and want to sleep. That is a normal phenomenon. But as you say, oh, I've been driving now and I'm tired. No. I like to drive. So when I realized that I want to drive, I love driving. Quickly, I went to a driving school. So when after the driving school, then I took on to these jobs, the Uber jobs.
Yeah.
Because I know I love to drive. I can drive the whole day and make money. You see. So you don't wait for a system. You start creating yourself. Identify. What do I love to do? And so that's what I did. When I started driving, then I realized that, okay, I started doing deliveries. And it's out of deliveries that I'll mention this person, Mr. Martin Ado, a very wonderful man. I met him in church, and then I started doing deliveries for him. And I was delivering air conditions. So one day I sat down, I'm like, okay, this is something that is of high demand because the number of ACs I would deliver is a lot. So then I thought, who are those fixing them? So that is how come I got into the air conditioning business. So out of my passion for driving has birthed me a new idea. That is what we do, what we call living. And so then I get some few people to do it who are experts. I scrutinize them because I've gone to school. So you see, the school was the survival mode, but now it has come to help my living mode. You understand? Mm-hmm. So you see, you connect all these things and you become a full person. So I got to the point where then when they are going to do the installation, I started looking at it, I started reading, I started watching, then I started practicing. Then you have to go to school for experts to teach you. Now I became a big man in that AC job. I know how to do what my staff One day I was going to deliver with my boys, and they said that they cannot make it. I went there and I fixed it myself. And I was even better. So you see, that is how I found out. So after this, so now I just, I'm doing 9 to 5 now because I feel like accounting, I've gone to school to do accounting. I'm doing businesses. And so I need to sharpen my accounting skills. So when I get to a certain point in life where business is booming, I'll be able to use that cutting edge of accountancy to support the business, because there's no business without academia, So that is it. And it hasn't been easy though. Yeah.
So one important thing I've picked from what you've said is, in as much as you are looking to live, it's also the people around you are those that can raise you higher. They can take you to a certain pedestal. So it means that in as much as we are, quote unquote, we are surviving right now, we must take advantage of the people around us, because they can also boost us. I mean, who knows, tomorrow is maybe one of these people that you don't even quote unquote take seriously, that can give you a certain job opportunity, or maybe something else there that will move you from
the survival mode.
Before
you even continue, I have a memory verse that I want to give. It's John 10:10. The Bible says, "The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy." But this is the interesting part. "I came that you may have life and have it abundantly." So even in the word living and the word surviving, if you look at this verse, the life he's talking about is in the living. And he didn't say just live. It was abundance. So you have to live in abundance. So yeah. To your question, sir.
Okay, so let's take it to a different angle. Why do you think society has entrapped us, or trapped us into having a certain mentality that after university you go look for a job, you work there, you retire, and basically that's life? It's like we've been trapped in a certain mindset that this is the routine. But what can cause someone to break
out of that mentality?
Yeah.
So for me, if you trace it back, it was a system that worked. It was really working. People have made it out of school. They went to school, they got a job, and they are doing exploits. And you see, that is how come businesses were made. If you look at big businesses, not all of them do, but if you look at businesses which are booming and all that, most of them are learned. So education, it's not bad. Now, to come to what you are asking me, it was working. It was a system that was working. But it got to a point where it couldn't work again. So we'll say replica effect. My father used to say that because people back then were doing well,
making it, yes.
But it got to a point where it became saturated. The system is choked. Everybody wants to take his children to school. Everyone wants to take his children to school. It's just like starting an online business. One person will come and buy. Another person will come and buy. Or when you're doing your live or something, one person will come and view and then say, "Oh, you have done well, nobody will mind you." But the moment the spotlight gets on you, you lose track of your numbers. Because that's what happened to our education system. It was a system that was created for us. And you see, what I discovered a little is that they did that so that they can buy time. They can buy some small time. Yeah, because if they don't prolong the whole time, then people are finishing too early, because out of SHS, then team to tertiary, now tertiary, there's a professional, then this and that. They give you all these things so that it can help. But it's also a good thing. It's also a good thing. And so I'll say, to your question, the system is choked. It's choked, and there's an overflow. So the mindset has to be changed. Now, how to break away? You see, when you find your passion, like I said, you use your education or wherever. So if you have a job, like my 9 to 5, if I'm paid, for example, If I'm paid 3,000 Ghana cedis, and then I love to do music, I don't have any equipment. This is what I'll do. I know my bills are, everything is around 2 something. And I fix my mind to that. I know that 2,500 should take care of it. Because if that is what I was getting, that is what I will use. So I set aside 500 for some time. It's very difficult, but if you do it, then you are living. Because once you set it aside, you can use to buy equipment after equipment, equipment after equipment. You are still working, you have your equipment. After a while, you steal some small time out of your sleep. You have to sleep for 8 hours, but you steal some 2 hours out of your sleep time. Sacrifice and then do a music video and put it out there. Do another one and put it out there. Do that for a while. Now you have the equipment. Do it 1, 2, 3. Before you realize, you're up there. Yeah.
One thing I can pick from what you're saying is sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice. You need to sacrifice.
To get to the top, you have to sacrifice a lot.
And then you need relationships also. Yes, because if I do a video and you don't watch it, if I don't have any relationship with you and you don't watch it or comment or like or share, it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with us over here. When we were starting this podcast.
It wasn't easy.
No. So I literally had to put aside some of the money I was making to get some of the equipment so that we can move a step.
Oh, nice.
Not me alone though, me and the people that
You started. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you actually sacrifice time to even edit videos.
That is it.
And do other stuff. And yeah, that's life. To get to that pedestal, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. And I think that's where you've gotten to. Maybe you are closer to living than I am.
Yes, I am.
I mean, eventually.
And you see, living is a mindset. Let me say it one more. It's a mindset. You see, some people have a lot of money, but they are still surviving because they don't even know what to do with the money. They have not identified anything. They have left it for them. They don't know what to do. They have not discovered themselves. But when you discover yourself, you can even leave home. Mm-hmm. You say we leave home to go and feed home. That's a survivor. But we leave home to make a home. That is living. Yes. So perfectly, that's what it is.
That's a renowned statement. You leave home to make.
Not to learn.
So in conclusion, this has been a very eye-opening episode. I've learned a lot personally how to move from a survival mode to living. Personally, right now I'm barely surviving, but I know with time.
I can say you are living.
I'm barely surviving, Charlie. But with time, I know it's going to get better. And I think these are some of the things that people out there should actually focus on. These are some of the insightful things that are in people's heads, and it needs to get out there so that you know that there's a time will come, but I just have to break out of it.
Get out of the box.
It's not always school that is going to help.
It's not always that. It's not always the case.
If you look at personalities like Pella, Beast, I Show Speed, even these musicians out there, I don't think all of them completed college, honestly. But then they found joy in what they were doing, knew how to do it, became better at it, and now they are.
You don't even need to become better. It is your personality attached to what you are doing. It's what we like.
Yeah,
it's enough.
That's I Show Speed.
Yeah.
He goes around doing things, but the guy is making it.
He's just big. God. Living is, you don't have to struggle. That's the whole point.
Exactly.
He's just his life. So he wakes up, Pella wakes up one morning and say, hey, everybody, hey, and we are all there.
He's making money out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, this is very insightful. This is very, very insightful. And we are concluding. This has been a very, 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 very interesting and educative episode. My name is Oheneba. I did this with Mr. Michael. But before we end, let me just do a few, advertisements. So if you want to get your ACs fixed, or even delivered, or if you want an AC, you can reach out to Mr. Michael Osa, aka Kwabena Keys. If you also want a keyboardist to come and play at your events, he's multi-talented. He can do everything. So he's a very great man of God too. And then if you have having an event and you want someone to cater for
these events,
reach out to these events also. She's going to help you out. And also, if you need camera rentals, drone rentals, anything media, reach out to Snapcraft. We've got you covered. So my name is Oheneba once again, and this has been an episode in the Speak Out Sport. I did this a Mr. Michael Uzasari, a very brilliant man. I can't stop giving him shout out because he has really done so much big here. So
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
To
Yeah.
end, to kill
Yeah.
everything. How this is the final
Sure.
part. How does the church play a key role in our transition from survival to living? What do you think, in addition to us just going to church, the amount of money we give, what we do here and there, our work in church, is it all of benefit when it comes to transitioning from survival to living?
Yes. I can say that the church, let me use myself as an example, and I'll speak this under 1 minute. My church, when I was a young child, because my father took me to church, my mother took me also to church all the time, I found joy in doing the work of God. And church has a lot of facets. We have the media. Now it's even more. The media, the music, the sound, the ushering, everything you can think about life is in the church. There's administration and all that. Now, the church leaders, which I will commend Abundant Grace Baptist Church for that, is that they identify what you are good at just by your movement. People are good at standing behind the camera, but they don't have the requisite skills, and so they start giving them. People are also good at public speech. They talk in public, they can speak and all that. The church is a platform where, which can help you get to that point. You understand? And music too is there, sound is there. If you think you don't know what your purpose is, or you don't know what you want to do, or you have not identified yourself, just go to church. It will surprise you what God has put in you. Some people are very serviceable, so they are the ushering department. And so what I think the church leaders should do more, which I know my church is doing it, and let me give this, my pastor, Dr. Danabafu, I always say that don't miss your providential way. There's a way that is appointed unto man to pass. Don't miss it, because when you miss it, it's troubles. And so once you identify it, don't miss it, because you have a lot of things in there. So the church, any other church that I see, which I know my church is doing, and they are doing more, they should try as much as possible to identify the talent in the youth. It may not be something you normally do in church, but with your guidance and how you're going to package it, it's going to be fine. People dance in church, and it's beautiful. So that is it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Guys, so this is the end of this episode. He's going to come again because I'm sure he has more things to inspire us with. This is just the beginning of a lot more episodes to come. My name has been Ohineba. My name is Ohineba. And then this has been an insightful episode. We'll catch you in the next one. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment.